The theme of death by love is more closely associated with works of art, legends, or poetic imagery than with real-life events. However, there are a few instances in history where famous individuals, it is said, died from deep sorrow or emotional pain related to love. These tragedies often symbolize not only unrequited love but also the power of human emotions, which can have destructive consequences. Despite all the greatness and fame, personal tragedies can become insurmountable obstacles, and love, which is meant to be a source of joy, turns into a heavy burden. Sid Vicious and Nancy Spungen are one of the most notorious couples in punk rock history, their relationship becoming a symbol of destructive love, where passion and chaos intertwined. Sid, the bassist for the legendary punk band the Sex Pistols, was known for his aggression, nihilistic lifestyle, and total disregard for rules. Nancy, the girlfriend who inspired him and shared his way of life, was as rebellious and audacious as he was. Together, they embodied the punk culture, filled with rage and alienation from society, but their story is not only one of love, it's a tragedy that led to the death of both. The couple descended into a dark world of drugs and violence, where their passionate relationship became toxic and dangerous. Sid and Nancy's mutual attraction seemed limitless, but it was this intensity that ultimately destroyed them. In October 1978, Nancy was found dead in a room at New York's Chelsea Hotel with a stab wound, and Sid became the prime suspect. He was arrested and charged but denied any guilt, and he never lived to see his trial. Shortly after her death, Sid died of a drug overdose, leaving their story unfinished and shrouded in mystery. Their relationship became symbolic not only of punk culture but also of the destructive power of addiction and obsession. Sid and Nancy were inseparable, bound by a love that was both their inspiration and their curse. They loved each other so intensely that they couldn't let go, but they also couldn't escape the darkness it brought. Their story serves as a warning of how easily passion can turn into disaster when there's no room for self-control or light. Sylvia Plath and Ted Hughes are a couple whose relationship became a symbol of inspiring yet destructive love, leaving a profound mark on literature. The American poet Sylvia Plath, known for her vulnerable soul and struggle with mental anguish, wrote many poems filled with love, pain, and despair. Her poetry served both as a remedy and a mirror for her inner experiences, allowing readers to touch her deepest suffering and passions. Ted Hughes, a talented English poet, became her lover and husband, an inspiration, and, at the same time, a catalyst for her inner turmoil. Their marriage was full of love and passion, but also irreconcilable differences. For Sylvia, love for Ted was deep and painful, awakening dark sides within her soul. Their relationship was tumultuous and intense, which only intensified her inner conflict. When they separated, her depression became unbearable, and poetry remained her sole refuge, where she could express all the bitterness of loss, the feeling of loneliness. Her poems from this period became especially sharp, filled with tragedy and pain, exposing her vulnerability and despair. In February 1963, Sylvia took her own life, leaving behind a legacy imbued not only with profound love but also with suffering. Her poetry and novel *The Bell Jar* became iconic works, exploring themes of mental health, inner struggle, and sincere love that could not save her from her own demons. After her death, Ted Hughes became the keeper of her creative legacy, which sparked mixed feelings among Plath's admirers, many of whom held him responsible for her tragic fate. Sylvia Plath became a symbol of an insatiable thirst for love and understanding, and her work continues to resonate, revealing both the dark and bright sides of the human soul. Her story is a reminder of how fragile and complex a person's spirit can be, seeking salvation in love and art. Amy Winehouse was a British singer whose life was closely tied to struggles with love and addiction. Her relationship with Blake Sybil was filled with scandals, breakups, and substance abuse. Amy often spoke about the pain of love, and her emotional state was reflected in her music and life. She died at the age of 27 from alcohol poisoning, and many associate her death with the emotional difficulties she faced. Amy was born in London and showed a passion for music from a young age, eventually gaining worldwide fame with her album *Back to Black*, which earned her 5 Grammy Awards. However, her success was overshadowed by her personal struggles. Amy's problems with alcohol and drugs intensified after she began her relationship with Blake, which became a major source of inspiration for many of her songs, including the iconic *Rehab*. Their romance was full of passion and turmoil, scandals, breakups, mutual accusations, and addiction problems. Together, they went through a series of crises, and their relationship often became a topic of discussion in the media. Her addiction issues worsened during their time together and were devastating for both her career and life. Her music deeply reflected her personal struggles, feelings of loneliness, pain, and internal battles. Songs like Love is a Losing Game conveyed her emotional turmoil and vulnerability. Her life tragically ended at the age of 27. Amy Winehouse died of alcohol poisoning in July 2011, joining the 27 club of celebrities who died at the same age. Many attribute her premature death to the emotional challenges and inner demons she could never overcome. Amy left behind a legacy that continues to inspire and touch the hearts of millions, making her one of the most iconic and controversial figures in modern music. Tanya Roberts was an actress best known for her role in the TV series Charlie's Angels and in James Bond films, leaving a lasting mark on popular culture. Born in 1955, she began her career in modeling and commercials before breaking into acting. Her popularity soared thanks to roles filled with charm and strength, making her an iconic figure of the 1970s and 1980s. Despite her success in film and television, Tanya's personal life was marked by struggles and challenges. In January 2021, the actress passed away at the age of 65, a sudden tragedy for her fans and loved ones. The cause of her death was a bladder infection that led to severe complications. However, despite her medical issues, the reaction of Tanya's husband, Lenny, drew significant public attention, creating an emotional wave and much discussion around her death. Lenny, who had been married to Tanya for more than 18 years, showed remarkable devotion and grief, which resonated with many people. His words about how deeply he loved Tanya and how hard it was to cope with her loss touched many hearts. Their relationship was marked by mutual respect and understanding, and Lenny repeatedly emphasized that Tanya was his best friend and a steadfast companion in life. In interviews after her death, he spoke of the immense pain her loss caused him, saying that his life would never be the same without her. Although Tanya Roberts' death was not a direct result of a death by love, her husband's reaction reminded people of tragic stories where the loss of a loved one strikes the deepest human emotions. Her passing left a void not only in her family's life but also in the hearts of millions of fans who continued to value her contributions to the arts. Cynthia Powell, who became known after marrying John Lennon, was an important figure in the history of the Beatles and in the life of the musician himself. She was born in 1939 in the UK and met John in the early 1960s, when his musical career was just beginning to take off. The couple married in 1962, and soon after, they had a son, Julian. Although their marriage started off well, their relationship became strained as the Beatles' popularity grew, and the media attention surrounding them increased. However, the breakup with John Lennon in 1968 and his subsequent relationship with Yoko Ono were a severe blow for Cynthia. Their divorce became a public event that attracted global attention, not only because it involved one of the most famous rock stars but also due to the personal nature of the split. Lennon left Cynthia for Yoko, and this separation undoubtedly left a deep mark on Cynthia's life. She not only dealt with emotional distress but also faced public scrutiny and attacks on her personal life, which was especially painful given the media spotlight. Cynthia struggled emotionally for a long time because her marriage to John Lennon did not live up to her expectations. Her son, Julian Lennon, often mentioned in interviews how his mother suffered from John's departure for Yoko Ono. He noted that her life after the divorce was difficult, and she never fully recovered from the breakup. It left a lasting impact on her, though she continued with her life, pursuing art and maintaining a relationship with her son. Cynthia remained an important figure in Julian's life and was a source of support for him, but her feelings for John never settled. After the divorce, she tried to find happiness in new relationships but remained overshadowed by Lennon and the hold he had on her life. Cynthia Powell passed away in 2015 from cancer, but her story continues to be an important part of John Lennon's biography and the cultural context of that era. Aaron Carter, the younger brother of Nick Carter from the famous group Backstreet Boys was known as a singer and performer who gained popularity in the late 90s and early 2000s. With his debut album Aaron's Party Come Get It released in 2000, he quickly became a teenage pop sensation. However, his life behind the scenes was filled with personal tragedies, many of which had a devastating impact on his mental health. Aaron faced numerous challenges, including drug and alcohol addiction, as well as struggles with depression and anxiety disorders. He was open about his mental health issues, which were compounded by family and romantic dramas. His relationships with family members, particularly with his brother Nick, were strained, and Aaron often felt overshadowed by his brother's fame. His personal life was also marked by tumultuous and tragic relationships, which only deepened his inner pain. Aaron's condition worsened over the years, and his public behavior became increasingly erratic and unpredictable. Despite attempts at treatment and seeking help, he struggled to overcome the consequences of depression and addiction. In 2022, at the age of 34, Aaron Carter was found dead in his home in Calabasas, California. Preliminary reports indicated that the cause of death was drowning in the bathtub, but there were also reports suggesting the potential involvement of drugs. Aaron's death marked a tragic end to his painful journey. His life was marked not only by his struggles with addiction, but also by numerous unresolved personal conflicts that prevented him from finding inner peace. Aaron Carter left behind a legacy as a singer who, despite his career and success, was never able to conquer his personal demons. Kirk Douglas was one of the most iconic and respected actors in Hollywood, whose career spanned over 7 decades. Born in 1916, he became a star during the golden age of cinema, starring in famous films such as Spartacus *, The Bad and the Beautiful and Out of the Past *. His unique acting style, charisma, and determination to earn respect both in Kirk Douglas was one of the most iconic and respected acting and in film production made him a legendary figure. Kirk Douglas faced many challenges in his life, including a severe injury while filming and a stroke in 1996, but he always found the strength to carry on. His long life was also closely tied to his wife and Biden's Douglas. The couple married in 1954, and their relationship lasted for over 65 years. Anne, a former model and actress, was not only a loyal partner but also a source of love and support, helping Kirk through the ups and downs of life. She was by his side until the very end, supporting him during his final years when his health significantly declined. Even at 103, Kirk remained strong in spirit, and their love remained steadfast despite the passage of time and life's challenges. When Kirk Douglas passed away in 2020, his death was natural, but it left an indelible mark on the hearts of many, and was with him until his last days, sharing both the joys and hardships of their long journey together. Their love became an example of how loyalty, devotion, and strong bonds can endure even in the most difficult circumstances. Anne outlived her husband, but their relationship will forever remain a part of her life, as well as an essential part of Kirk Douglas's legacy, who left a profound influence on the film industry and culture as a whole. In the end, although death by love is more commonly found in myths and romantic stories, such tragedies remind us of the powerful impact human emotions can have. Love, in all its complexity, has the capacity to bring both the highest joy and the most unbearable pain. When the heart is overwhelmed by passion and the mind cannot cope with the emotions, the consequences can be devastating. History has examples of famous individuals who, faced with loss or unrequited love, could not overcome the emotional turmoil. And while such cases remain rare, they become part of the human experience, symbolizing the tragic power of love, capable of changing lives and destinies.